Welcome everybody. Today on this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to master engraving onto tile. We're going to first start off with a gradient 2 that I created just for this project. I will have a free download link down below. It will contain 2 files. After downloading the file, let's upload it to the Glowforge website. The upload will be a PNG, so it will be pretty big when you upload it. So minimize it to the size as necessary for the object that you are testing it on. Today we're just going to be dealing with this gradient tool, and if you're going to be doing engraving on SVGs, you will have to repeat this whole process. Now let's go to our settings. I want to show you something pretty cool where it shows minimum power. This setting is to help you bump up your lights to bring them out from not being engraved, meaning your light shadows of any pictures. I'll show you examples right now. You can bring it up 25% and you can see the difference in the gradient tool. I'm going to change it to 50%. Now it got 50% darker, as you can see. Now I'm going to make it 80%. You're really going to see this when I do it 100%. This is what I'm talking about. The darks will stay dark, but the lights will get darker. And that's how you'll get a black burnt square. Now these are the shadows that I'm speaking of. If they're a little too light, you can bump up the minimum power to bring all the shadows out of the engraving. You can bump it up 5% to 25%, whatever works for you. Every picture will be different, so my settings may not work for you. Before I forget to mention, my picture was just converted to black and white. Just try to keep the picture off the edges of the tile. I'll show you why later on. So your picture should look like this. It should be nice and dark blue. The dark blue parts are the parts that are going to engrave. The darker the blue, the deeper the engraving. You're going to see when I bump up the minimum what happens to the picture if I feel like it's too light. But this picture is perfect. Before I engrave my main picture, I'm going to test out the gradient too. It took me 3 tries to get it perfect. I'll show you the settings that I was using and what I changed to get a better picture quality. I wasn't happy at 800 speed with full power, line per inch at 225, so I changed it up. So I bring the power down to 750 and 274 line per inch. I wasn't happy about the lines. Deepness was fine, so I bump up the lines per square inch to 340. Good quality will take a little longer, but it's worth it at the end. Here's a small sample of how the tile should sound like when engraving. At the end of this test, these are my settings that I use. 730 for speed, full power, grayscale, full power, minimum power, 0, and line per square inch, 340. It's real hard to see the detail on the white tile. After filling in the engraving, now you can see the real results. This is what I'm looking for. If you want more detail, you could always slow down the laser speed. So here's a comparison to the original file. With the more lines I added, you can see the more details in the engraving. That's what I'm looking for. Now, after I'm happy with the results with testing, now it's time to engrave my picture. This engraving came out amazing. You can barely see it now, but let's fill it in with marker so you can see the real detail of the engraving. And before I do that, I clean it up with alcohol. This is the marker that I'm using. I just bought this one at my local graffiti store. Just fill in any spots that you engraved on, just to bring out the detail. And to get the look that you're looking for, you may have to repeat this process. I use 400 grit sandy pads from Diablo. You can find these at your local hardware store. The one good thing about these pads that they are washable. So this sandy pad that I'm using got clogged up, so I had to change it out for a new one. I get soapy water and spray it on a microfiber rag to see my end result, and repeat the process until you're happy with it. And if you made it this far, I would like to say thank you and stay connected. I have a lot more videos coming out like this. About the edges, this is what I was speaking about earlier. They're more harder to sand down, so try to avoid engraving on the edges.